Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Zach, aka Zeus. How's it going? 5:13 p.m. Saturday, April 26th, 2025. How's it going? Just wanted to make this video, talk about a few things, talk about the state of affairs, talk about where I'm at, talk about where everybody else is somewhat at in the world. One moment here while I have a sip of water. So why do I make these videos? Well, I wanna try to get the word out about me. I want to try to raise awareness about me because I was Zeus in a past life. I was the main man, so to speak. And I wish I remembered more about when I was Zeus, but when you're me, when you're a deity, I feel like your soul remembers that. No matter who you're reincarnating as, I don't remember a lot about when I was Adam, but I reincarnated as a bunch of other people who were just, they were famous, but it wasn't anything that was that crazy, and I just am curious, did I know who I was when I was reincarnated as those people? I'm not sure, but I always kind of bring this point up, like, even if I wasn't Zeus, and I knew that the guy who was Zeus was out there, I would be watching his content. I would care, because if you're a human being, if you're a person, you have to care about history. You have to care about these deities who were, top tier deities at one point. And I don't know why, over time I've been diminished. I don't know why I'm in such a lowly state nowadays. It doesn't really make sense to me. It's like, I see these people on YouTube who have huge followings, who are like my great grandkids pretty much, and the thought comes to mind, well, maybe I'm just past my prime. Maybe, I'm not supposed to be famous or relevant anymore. But the thing is, though, it's like in our modern world, everybody pretty much has access to the internet. Everybody has access to YouTube. Everybody can make videos. Everybody can speak to the world and say, hey, here I am, check me out, and listen to what I have to say, because why would you not want to listen to what Zeus has to say? Yahweh and Satan are two very important gods who I'm related to, Yahweh is my great-grandfather and Satan is my great-uncle, I'll just kind of restate the lineage. Yahweh and his wife had, their children were Uranus and Gaia. And then Uranus and Gaia had Cronus and Rhea, who were my parents, And the children of Cronus and Rhea was myself and Hades and Poseidon and Demeter and Hera. And I've revealed who Hera is in this reincarnation. It's Kelsey Lewin, I think one of these days, it would be cool to be in contact with my siblings, and I think, Kelsey and I have a lot in common. And she's also my twin flame, which is, that's a whole nother topic I should really start making videos about, because that's a very, sort of supernatural connection, which is pretty strange. But it's like somebody's got to care out there, man, in YouTube land. Make these vids. It's like somebody's got to care. Somebody's got to give a shit about Zeus, It's just like there has to be an audience for me out there, and I would assume it would be a lot of people, because I know, when I was on top, everybody worshipped Zeus. Everybody loved me. Everybody was like, "Yo, that's the king. That's the king of gods." But the thing was, back then, when I go on Google and I look at images of Zeus, it's like, I don't know where those are all being generated from, but it's like there's some type of collective memory of, what I used to look like, or, the embodiment of me in artwork. It's like, I totally just lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with that. Stand by. But this reincarnation, Zach Olds, it's like, what's the point? What am I supposed to be doing? I feel like Yahweh and Satan have revealed all of this information to me. Why? Obviously they want me to know. They want me to know about my past, And it's like, I feel like I live my life in accordance to their wishes, pretty much, My lifestyle, I feel as though it's in line with how Satan would want somebody to live and how Yahweh would want somebody to live, And there's other deities that come into play as well that, I haven't really mentioned a whole lot about. Of course, Archangel Michael, Ra, and there's other ones too that eventually I will talk more about, But, yeah, I feel as though with YouTube, it's like, if you can make videos, if people are interested even in the least, your videos should get views. You should start getting a little bit of a following, And who better to follow than me? Who better to follow than Z, Than Zeus? Because it's like the older I'm getting, it's like the more awareness I seem to, attain. And I want to be relevant, and I think that I am relevant. It's just, my starting point is so much lower than a lot of other people. I feel like my siblings, they started out this reincarnation so much higher. And I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. I feel like everybody makes deals in the spirit world. Did I just not make the right deals? Did I, is this part of my sort of fate that I'm supposed to be this unknown person who's, you were famous, a million years ago or whatever when you were Zeus, and now you're just this lowly, insignificant, nobody. It's like, I can't accept that. I don't want to accept that, and I feel like the part of me inside of me that was Zeus, that remembers being this, this great deity who was so revered, it's like that stays with you. It's part of my soul. It's part of the history of my soul, so rock and roll. But yeah, I got a lot of love for my siblings. I would say I we come from the same place. We're family, you know. So it's like, to me, it's natural to be interested in them and want to like think about them still in terms of like, yeah, you know, these were my brothers and sisters, you know, a long time ago when we were the